Hello everybody, welcome to my convenience store. We're going to review UOL vs PSG. I'm still tired as a mofo, but we're gonna do it because UOL PSG was interesting. We liked it. There's a lot of learning moments for all of us in this one. A lot of you asked for LGD versus Rainbow 7, but I think the two games I chose for today are more educational because after that I need to go sleep. I woke up at 6, went to analyst desk, back home at 6. That is 12 hours of analyst desk. And then I came straight home, did a summary, posted it on YouTube. Tried to figure out, I really tried to figure out the ad thing. So please tell me the ad thing is, you know, if it's fixed. I tried to fix it. But all in all, I hope you will enjoy this one. I've tried to also not involve chat too much. I'll just do it like in portions. Because I do get that chat, you know. Some of you I love, some of you are a bit annoying. And I love you a little bit less. But that's okay, you know. We've also made the chat smaller, which I think is good. Let's just finish up this draft because there's a lot of juiciness. Thank you, Unbelievable. That is a name. That is definitely a name. Definitely a name. All right. So let's have a conversation about draft. So the beauty of it was, when you say that in an interview they said that they baited them into it, I believe it. Because I don't know if Mr. Obi-Wan Hanabi doesn't play Renekton. Because the beauty of all this is Ornn ban, Mordekaiser ban. It looks like Unicorns of Love are lining themselves up for a Camille first pick. Nidalee is something that has been played by Ananasik. Evelyn, okay, these champions out, okay. These bans can be argued. Lucian is still in the picture, so maybe they just didn't care about Lucian. Okay, they just wanted to ban junglers, 2 birds, 1 stone, and all of that jazz. Okay. No Man's also plays Tristana, so they maybe just thought Evelyn Nidalee out. There's no Tristana business. There's no what's her name, Lucian business. Keep in mind, in all of this, Lilia is open. So I don't know if these teams don't play Lilia. I don't have the solo queue accounts, and honestly, I don't feel like doing that research. We're just gonna jump into the review. So Renekton is first picked. So Renekton as a champion, you know, has some issues. The man gets kited, or the crocodile gets kited, whatever you want. Is it, he's male. He's a man. I don't know what a male crocodile is called. He gets kited. But is that true in this game? Is that true in this game? Does he get kited in this game? Oh, no, no, no. BitConnect. Set, Echo, Volibear. First 3. First 3 champions that are picked into a Renekton first picked. Disaster. Easy BitConnect here for Renekton. He can BitConnect with everyone on this team. No problem at all. If your response is set Echo into Renekton, you're smoking some good kush. We understand now a little bit more about PSG. They are going for comfort. They are simplifying things, and they are, of course, you know, trying to strive for comfortability. And this went in line with the 2 first games that they played because it matched against the enemy. But the key ban here was the Ornn. PSG as a team were very strong because they could rally around one ability. Ornn. We use Ornn ult. It's literally a war horn. So it's very easy to rally around it. Bar 2, I think in the video he has a horn. He bar ults and he rallies around it. This is where PSG found that togetherness and that decisiveness and that precision. which something we shouldn't forget completely for PSG because they lost this game. They did a lot of good things in this tournament. But in this time around, picking Echo and Set into Renekton. Poisonous. Poisonous, ladies and gentlemen, poisonous. If Echo gets blind picked, you know Hecarim is going to get picked into it. Very volatile matchup. Very volatile matchup. Echo gets ahead, hard for Hecarim. Hecarim gets ahead, difficult for Echo. What would you pick instead, someone asks? This is a situation where you could potentially experiment with a Lilia. You could look to maybe play a Gnar. Here, my instinct would be you remove Lilia from the equation and the enemy has no AP to synergize together with Renekton. That would be my inclination. But I don't know if any of these teams play Lilia. Right? You can play a Urgot top lane. That's also a good option. Right? Urgot, Lilia, Gnar, Lilia. Champions that can do fine into Renekton, right? Can do fine. You can play a Cannon. You can play a Quinn if you feel like it, right? Just ranged champions that don't feed into the Renekton brawl, right? And the key thing is Evelynn and Nidalee is out. So the last Bambi, like Lilia's Bambi, right? She's the one that wants to play together with Renekton, but of course, Unicorns of Love say to Boundaries, no, we pick Hecarim. And when I saw this, I was a bit confused. But considering the 3 first picks of the enemy team, these 3 are very happy to play in. That's Conqueror with Hecarim. W is going to heal a lot against 3 melee champions. Renekton is going to be able to brawl against them very easily too. And Orianna also fits in almost all situations. Orianna is kind of like an ace up anyone's sleeve that she can supply any type of composition and has many different modes, right? Mobile as a champion and so forth. Phase Rush covers any type of weaknesses champion has. So Orianna is a very, very strong pick. And at the same time, Orianna's flex, Nectar Mime. You knew it. Very nice. Very nice. You were first. Zulak, you get a thumbs up, but it's like at this angle. So not a complete one because you were second. So Orianna can just kite them, right? So these 3 champions, in a different case, might be weak. But in this particular case, you can be very happy with it, right? Also, Lucian is open, Lilia is open. Like there's many options for what you can do, but PSG are following the line of some of the other champions that, I mean, it follows the line of what PSG drafted earlier in the tournament. We haven't seen one Akali yet, why not? Ah, fuck if I knew, man. We continue. Nautilus Thresh ban. Their thought process is just ban the champions that synergize with APs. Because, these are champions that are good with Orianna. If you pick Orianna Leona bot, you buy Mercury and you won the lane, right? So you don't want to get outskilled with Mercury. Nautilus, less effective. Still, Mercury is good against Nautilus, but not super effective. Same with Thresh, right? Because they have knockups and so forth. Nevertheless, Jhin gets locked in. So why is Jhin important here? Well, Jhin doesn't do well into these boys. Jhin is the cherry on top of a cake. Jhin is the cherry on top of a cake. This is your cake. The cherry on top of a cake is not going to save it if it's a shit cake. That's the problem with Jhin. He's always going to be that addition to a composition. But he's not going to be the core of a composition ever. Right? There are some situations where Jhin can shine because the enemy team has no front line or anything. The only thing that would make any sense here, because it's just such a champion that can do everything, it's Ezreal, right? You look at Orianna, Hecarim, and Renekton, the champion that stands out instantly is Ezreal. Ezreal would be the one that fits. Because Ezreal fits everything. Similar to Orianna, Ezreal doesn't have like a defined weakness. But once again, Jhin is the cherry on top of a shit cake. Like the first 3 picks are just not good into the other first 3 picks, and Jhin doesn't shift the polarity of the game at all. That's the problem. Then Alistar gets locked in, another melee champion, but you know, I get it. Because they try to, you know, W away, for example, a Swain. Do you think Sivir would have been better? It's blind pick. That's the thing we have to keep in mind. Maybe they could have set up for a support pick 4th and then 5th pick AD. That was an option. Can D play Ezreal? That's also a good question. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know at all. But definitely it's hard to find the perfect AD carry pick to solve the problem they're in already. And then, you know, the issue with Jhin is that it sets up for the Swain. That's the problem. It sets up for the Swain pain drain. And then we have the Rakan blind pick. They didn't want to go for Leona. Rakan is a champion that really sets up compositions that lack a little bit of an extra punch in the engage to do well. Right? Rakan is also one of those champions that, you know, can fulfill multiple roles and fit, you know, the mold of this team very easily. It's not easy to be D, man. It's not easy to be a caster and cast with D, because how can you go through a full game without saying D's nuts? Very hard. Very, very hard. But the reason the Swain is so good is because in the same manner as Renekton, these champions really, really belong in the same situation, you know? Swain is a champion that loves when people come into him. He's like a fucking vacuum cleaner. He just wants to come closer, come closer, come closer, child. Thank you, Albertix, for your subscription. And already, it's Volibear, Echo, Set. Lovely for Swain. Lovely for Swain. And on top of that, Jhin doesn't have enough DPS to deal with a Swain ever. So the thing is, Swain and Renekton and Hecarim are champions that aren't that good against Burst. Like, they're decent against Burst, right? Decent against Burst. But if you don't burst them down, they're healing up. Conqueror is popping in. Swain is sucking everyone's soul. He's sucking everyone's soul. 4 melee champions. Easy peasy. Kate instead of Jhin, I think maybe they would have run into the same problem. Not easy to play. It's just that the first 3 picks are too weak to be saved by any AD carry pick. That's the problem. But yeah, like if they had Lulu Kate, maybe their chances would be increased. You know? But keep in mind, guys, D is a sub. Yuumi would save PSG comp? No, man. Jhin, Yuumi against Rakan Swain, you will lose lane too hard. Don't pick Set, Echo, Volley into Renekton, man. That is what's up. Swap Echo mid and pick what jungle? Swap Echo mid, Volley with jungle, Set support and pick a mid laner? Like Azir? Maybe that's the best solution. No, that's Echo mid already. We need to pick a top laner, interact. We're back at step 1. No, man. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. Just redraft, I think, after first 3 champs. It's hard to save, man. This is we don't like that. Don't like. Yeah, I think some of the issue now with PSG is just champion pool. No, he's the coach for Machi, so he doesn't really, you know, coach. Timo would be good here. Honestly, it's okay. As silly as that sounds, it might be okay here. Go Ornn into Renek. Ornn is banned. Conflict of interest? Yeah, sure, but bro, man, it's COVID, man. Fuck it. Should they just lose the tournament? So both showcased some very neat laning. I don't know why Hanabi, like with Volibear is same as GP, man. You leash with Volibear, you kind of just, you look at your lane phase in the face. Imagine your lane phase had a face, okay? Your lane phase is looking like this, okay? This is your lane phase. This is your lane phase, okay? This guy, this is your lane phase. You look into his face and you say, go fuck yourself. Because Volibear, what he needs to do is he needs to start auto-attacking the wave. The man's got to stack up lightning bolts. He needs to stack up lightning bolts. If he doesn't do that, he can't contest the wave. And then Renekton, when he begins to slow push, begins to fill up his Ablomgada, I think it's called. He begins to sack up the rage. We have Uniboy in the mid lane, but Zed is better against Zoe than it is against Orianna, because Orianna has a decent DPS outpost where Zoe is more about the burst. A very beautiful trade. Hanami eats it. And then here he gets level 3, the boss, and he's stacking the wave, and Hanabi has no business losing that much HP there. But this is just because he leashed. If you pick Volibear and you leash, oh man, you're gonna be in trouble. And here he comes. Boom. Boom. And then probably one of the worst flashes we saw all tournament long. But very nice from boss, man. Doesn't even flash. Stone Cold Unicorns of Love show that they are mechanically fucking decent, man. They recognize the punish. I think Unicorns of Love had the perception of saying Echo got a leash from Volibear on reds. Echo's gonna path into bottom. And his Volibear just ate a shit trade. And then boom. They snapped him in half. Very, very good play from Unicorns of Love. Hanabi, next time don't leash, brother. You know better than this. This is maybe one of the issues with picking something like an Echo, because when your jungler begins to pick Echo, he becomes a bit arrogant. He builds an ego. And when he builds that ego, he begins to ask for leashes. And that's when things start to go wrong. Because when you're playing Volibear, you need to have the confidence to say no. When you play Gangplank, you need the confidence to say no. Aaron's Dark Harvest. Yeah, this is a wild, man. And the key thing here, we mentioned before in Champion Select, Hecarim Echo, very snowballing matchup. You give a champion like Hecarim a kill early on, exponential, the growth. Why did Echo Q the bot wave? Did he? No, he did. Don't tell me he did, no. He really did? Oh! What? That is a good catch, draining the lemons. That is mental, man. What? That is win trading, man. Wow. Jesus. Peter griefing. Peter griefing. That's an imposter move, man. The wave is freezing. We need to gain something out of the fact that Hecarim just killed our top laner. That is nice, draining the lemons. I didn't notice. I didn't notice. Maybe let's give Kongyu the benefit of the doubt and let's imagine that PSG were like, the enemy has TP, we want to push in base. But doubt. Doubt. You guys know this phase? You know this phase? You know this? You know this? Tell me if you know this. You don't know this? Nah, guys. Come on. Zoe. Look. Zoe. Zoe. Come on, guys. This is what when Zoe gets a redemption, this is what she does at you. And now boss, look at him, keeping that TP. We like what we see. Man, I had to work very hard with Summit for him to keep TP in such a situation. Zozi. Alright, Renekton catches. Hanami gets to breathe a little bit because of that TP, but... Oh, when Zoe gets an ignite, it goes... It's like a move, you know? It's like boom, 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 boom. And us in getting the golems. This is a very, very good continuation of that pressure. But boss is not stacking his rage, so Anasik is not considering a dive here. Hanabi is eating some stone bros, so he's happy. Pink warding, playing resiliently. Here, you could consider a situation where Unicorns of Love might look for a dive, but Uniboy has TP, so he can match a No Man's Roman to top side, and the map is just kind of divided. Kongyu's playing at the bottom side, and Unicorns of Love is playing in the top side. As silly as it might sound, Renekton scales super good in this game. And you're like, what? Renekton scales good? What? 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 Renekton scales good? What? Scaling is always in contrast to the champions that are within the game. Your teammates' champions and the enemy champions. Very important. Very important. Here, man's got 4 melees. I'm going to bring and create a happy crocodile emote. I only see sad crocodile. In context, yeah, sure. So we need a happy crocodile. Oh, there's a happy crocodile. Wow, there is a happy crocodile already. We don't need to make one. I think Zillion support this game with Jhin would be better than Alistar. I don't know. Maybe. I just I probably like Lulu Caitlyn would give them the highest chance to win. Like they just pick Caitlyn and then go Lulu, or like Ezreal and then whatever, you know. Can you bring light on bootstart Jhin this game? Rakan and Swain are very reliant on hitting skill shots, so he just started boots. It's not bad. I'm in sandbox. Why is Fizz not playing in competitive only as a counter pick? Because some of the lanes that are considered counters are not really counters. They're like skill checks, and Fizz, if there's any champion in enemy team that can block the ult, it's like he's so useless. And his itemization is very expensive. How do you itemize as Volibear in this game? I don't know, we need to call Trick2G and ask, man. We need to call Trick2G and ask him what are the items to we carry in this game. I don't think his build was that bad, so just go full tank. I think in such a lane maybe you can go Bramble Vest too, because Renekton is committing to Blade Ruin King. Is Swain falling behind in CS an issue? No, it's a decision. Hecarim played into top side. Unicorns of Love didn't feel that they could set up for a dive. Maybe Renekton could potentially set up a freeze, if anything, because they couldn't dive. That's the other way to snowball if Volibear is not in dive position. This was just a decision. Swain falling behind is okay if Renekton gets ahead, and that was the case this game. And the map was just divided in such a fashion. Usually goes Frozen Heart, Spirit of Sage, and Ginzu's. Okay. And split push. That's exotic, guys. Very exotic. Drink Fanta free. Stay bambucha. Look at this move from Unicorns of Love. Beautiful, beautiful setup. Swain has TP in the bottom side. They are starting the Rift Herald. Swain is pushing bottom. Even in a world where PSG decide to contest this bad boy, no problem. They can back off because Swain can hit the tower bot. But instead he's basing because he wants to TP on this. Like, he could have just kept hitting bottom. It would have been better. Because his base is not like super exciting. The man got Ninja Tabi. He bought Ninja Tabi and fucking Seal. What's the plan here? Just punch the turret. Yeah, Mario, your socks today were dope. My socks today were fucking awful, man. Don't even talk about my socks. My socks were awful. I was wearing Adidas socks. That is socks for animals. This fight was terrible. This fight was terrible. But let's run through it. So first and foremost, the Herald, and then the fucking Herald went down to 7 HP. What on earth? Went down to 7 HP. So that is very sad. Can you wear Ninja Tabi to the studio? Something that's fucking genius. Let's buy some Ninja Tabi. Holy! I'm gonna get some Ninja Tabi. I'm gonna go on Amazon right now. Ninja Tabi. Yo, it's just these fucking creepy ass socks with toes. Tabi shoe. Oh! We found it, guys. The Ninja Tabi. The Ninja Tabi. Should I buy it? %10 damage reduction against basic attacks. Alright, let's just take a look at this fight and then let's consider it. So, okay, the smite went down to 7 HP. Swain could be punching bottom. Sure, like, if you think you're confident in this fight, PSG are already losing minions, right? So it's not like it's a worse position. But okay, they get the Herald. Good already. But here, Swain goes a bit too hard in the paint. A bit too hard in the paint. Because Swain is chilling in this corner. But Swain would be much more useful here. Because the more targets Swain has and people that can CC for him, the better it is, right? Also, look at how the supports use their cooldowns. It's pretty sad. Like here, good peel on No Man's, right? So Kaiwing is good. Kaiwing did good. And Santas did pretty bad. Because in this moment in the game, the support cooldowns are pretty damn long. The Rakan W and Alistar combo, very long cooldowns. What did Rakan W accomplish? Nothing. Swain chasing Jhin. He zones Jhin, but doesn't really accomplish much either. He's using the Hextech skin, he's looking sexy, but his movement is not sexy. It's like when, you know, a sexy person is dancing poorly, it just looks terrible. You know, you lose all of that sexiness. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm super tired. Gadget misses everything, and he just walks away with his move speed. And Kaiwing zoned out Nomans. Look at that. It's like Mithy. It's like Mithy, man. Look at Mithy doing plays. Boom. This is Mithy zoning the Orianna. A classic. I'll show you guys the move. Mithy zones. Mithy zones Orianna. Yeah, we're not fucking finding that ever. Like, it's just plagued with clickbait. What on earth happened when we wrote Orianna? Look at that, man. Orianna carry! Yeah! This is how I 1v5 with Orianna! Yeah! How to play Orianna? 11-3-6? Wow! Up 25 stacks, Magi! And no death cap? Why did he buy Morello, man? Why did he buy Morello? If he had death cap here, oh. Hi, Orianna! Wow! Orianna montage. Clean. Well, I don't believe it because you don't have any sick stats in your thumbnail. You don't have any sick stats in your thumbnail. How am I supposed to believe that? Mithy Alistar. Mithy Alistar. Yo, why is this 7 minutes, bruv? The man fucking made a play. Look at Mithy. Just watch Mithy. Look at what Senkux goes through, okay? Boom. Yo. Boom, that's a punch. And then Senkux. Very sad. Boom. And then the plant. Boom. And then the shiggity swag. Boom. There's a Q again. No ultimate from Senkux used yet. And then boom, W in. Man, is he pissed. Man, is he pissed. This looks like the singer of This Is The End, you know. I don't know if people know that song. But anyway, Alistar did very good in this fight. That's my point. And now I lost all quality on the video. Let's boost it up again. Boom. Kaiwing's own Normans exactly like that. He looked at that guide. Even though it was in German, he learned from it. Ed Sheeran does not sing that song. Sunrise Avenue. Thank you, Mr. Damian. That's the guy who fucking plays League with watermelons and shit, no? Anyway, here comes Jhin Bullets. UOL boss died. And it was all because Kaiwing was more useful than Santas. Because Echo was a part of the fight here, and the focus was very good. Boss managed to get clapped down. Uniboy, like the mid lane, the top lane, and the jungle managed to hit the same target, while Nomans was not a part of this. Yeah, he plays with the dance pad, he plays with bananas, like he played with everything, that guy. I know him. Cool guy, cool guy, cool guy. Here comes Jhin Bullets, and there is no reason for UOL to continue this. And I think off of the play of Santas and also off of the play of Gadget, I think maybe this could have been a better fight. This gave PSG some breathing room in this game. I needed to learn it in school, so I know that song. It's a very good song. Very good song. This is the end, you know. Very nice. Kaiwing played very well this tournament, man. Very, very insane. I think coming into the last day of play, I believe Unified is playing again, which is a huge bonus because Unified and Kaiwing together are going to be absolute beasts. Beasts. Base beasts. Alright, so the state of Volibear is still quite bad, and Swain recovered because of the bot wave that we spoke about before. Ocean Drake is alive. There's not going to be soul on the table for anyone for quite some time. So this first Ocean Drake, the teams don't want to give up that much tempo for it, especially when they have junglers like Echo and Hecarim. They're not the best at killing a Drake because always your jungle camps are spawning and so forth, and it's very important. Fairy Tale Gone Bad, very good song indeed. I really like this song. Elena showed it to me, but our Fairy Tale will never go bad. I tell you that much. Samana, waka waka, Good flash from Gadget, but didn't need to be there in the first place. It's also like something that we consider a mistake. Both teams feel confident enough to contest the dragon. I think the key moment in time is the blade timer of Renekton. He's pushing top. Volibear has TP on. Renekton is gonna walk down there and get busy. Here, Gadget just walks away, but keeps his ultimate. Very important because he wants to fight. The thing is, Phase Rush Leona, it's not that exciting because Aftershock synergizes so well with W. Like, they just boost each other up so much and makes Leona unkillable. So it's tough sell to walk away from that for Phase Rush. Because the cooldown E is so short anyway, so you'll be alive. So very strange here how Gadget managed to find entrance, because Gadget is legit just walking after Alistar and Jhin. And Alistar has no combo yet, that's why he's just chilling around. And now the combo comes up. But Inspector Gadget, look at him staying alive. That is the Zhonya's Hourglass. Gadget is keeping very busy here. He did a lot of damage. We end up with him dying though, so it doesn't make that big of a difference. PSG holding on. But what's kind of strange here, Unicorns of Love actually made the mistake. Because in reality, they don't need to contest, right? They don't need to contest. Like, what's the point of contesting if Renekton is just going to stick around and commit to it? They get the first tower, so it's not the end of the day. Renekton is quite fed, and Volibear is pretty much out of the game. We talked about how Renekton scales well in this game. Black Cleaver is coming up, which is fine, right? Hanabi is tank. Set is tank. I don't know what Volibear could potentially buy here to become more of a threat. I don't know if it makes sense for him to buy a Trinity or something like this, but he was under heavy pressure, and if he didn't get defensive stats, maybe he would be really, really in trouble. Like if he starts buying a fucking Phage or some shit, it is tough. Very, very tough. But the issue now is, like, Swain, Hecarim, and Renekton are just too durable for PSG's composition to take down. Renekton now giga-fed 2k gold lead, and that's all of Volibear TPing into the Drake fight. Sure, they pick up Swain, but that's not enough to justify it. Set falling behind on farm, it's only natural in most cases. You want to make things happen with Set, because if you don't, you tend to kind of fall off. Because in reality, you're just a tank, you're just a tank, and gold doesn't do that much on you. So that's a flash. Very, very big CS gap in mid if we think about it. Flash into R, which is decent, right? No one's no flash. It secures them the next Rift Herald. But we know what's coming, right? We know what's coming. Renekton super strong, Swain super strong. Unicorns of Love made a couple of mistakes in this game, and PSG managed to punish. Kaiwing been playing well, so it wasn't like a completely one-sided affair. PSG very, very quick to pull the trigger on punishing the fact that Orianna died. They get a mid tower, and this game is definitely, you know, a game that remains relevant. Here at PSG, they overstep just a little bit. They can leave this right now and not look for the next wave. The TP comes in, Renekton has abandoned top, and they are heavily, heavily overextended here. And there goes Kongyu. And then here we go. Gadget tries to reach. You know, chasing is a bit of a weird thing in this game because everyone's kind of a potato. But they get a kill in the end. Trade for the mid tower. Preferal was used. It's not game defining. Next Drake fight that is coming up, looking at itemization, a lot of Mercuries are showing up. But Mercury, it's not like that. It's like monster good against the enemy team. They don't have that much CC, but the enemy has a decent amount of magic damage, so of course it is relevant. I think you can also reconsider finishing the Sorcerer Shoes on Orianna in such a game because you know magic resistance is gonna land because you have triple AP. Rakan counts as AP in my book. You can just skip it and start completing core items instead of looking for the extra penetration because it's not so valuable here. Maybe you look for Spellbinder into Deathcap Void. I think that would be juicy. All Mercury is finished now except on Alibaba Express. And there's the flash for Kaiwing, chunk 2, and it just means that Unicorns of Love, with good timing, will secure the Drake. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, the Swain pick in itself and the draft in itself was very nice. I think in a best of 5 between PSG and UOL could be a lot closer than this best of 1 looks. Why the Rakan resurgence? Was he buffed? It was more about the Nautilus nerfs, honestly, and people figuring out that you can play Rakan into Leona like the good old days. I think Broxah played well today. I don't think there's any reason to take anything away from that. Imagine if Boss would have picked Illaoi instead of Renekton versus this team comp. Probably Renekton is easier to execute. Jensen smurfed on Tali, but did you guys see what Graves did to him? Graves ganked him, and then he ganked him again, burns his flash, burns his TP, came mid, ganked him again. Like, Rockstar got busy. Jensen outlaned Tali for sure, because he shouldn't be out one corrupting potion up in this matchup. It shouldn't be possible. He played much better than Tali, don't get me wrong. But Broxah did a lot of heavy lifting. That was, you know, a good 2v2 performance. It's good that they are cerebral about it. Even though it was against a shit like a team that didn't play that well, it's still a respectable approach to the game, because that Team Liquid game was very, very clean. Everything comes down to the Drake fight, so we have to pay attention now. If Orianna finish Liandry's and Swain finish Liandry's, all of a sudden, like, the game is just doomed. Both champions can, of course, use Madness, but if they're hitting the same target, they can't really apply the burn. Only one instance of the burn is active. Not trolling who's better, Björnsson or Björksen. I think Björksen is better. Based off of the information that Jizuki has told me, and I think his assessment of players he's played against is often very, very accurate. Drake spawning now 40 seconds, PSG already in position, but there is this cute little ward there that is now clear. That's super important. Rakan still sitting on 4 wards, good base timing for Santas. Making sure that he has ward ready on top of the wards that he already placed, but now he used 2 already and one of them is gone. This ward in the bush is very important, but now it's gone 2. 2 more wards for Santas. He places one more time in this bush this time around. And now on the banana bush as well, and that's 2 wards out of the picture. Same thing for Alistar, no wards. The crab death is going to be important because it's going to give important vision, but with the Infernal Drake being taken, you know, Infernal Soul being on the map, you care a lot less about crab. No idea how Anastic actually managed to get this. Like, this is very, very shocking. Yeah, Gongyu is 2 levels ahead as well. He just doesn't smite the guy. And then Gongyu just dies. He gets snapped in half. Like, look at Gongyu, he gets feared out of his W and then just dies without using ultimate. Look at the beautiful timing as well for Unicorns of Love in terms of itemization. We asked the question, will the Liandry's be finished? And just on time, both of them are protected from COVID and they're doing extra damage. Very nice. Do you think UOL should play to win the fights instead of to play to steal the dragon? I think if Santas wasn't so, like, if he used his ward slightly better and they were willing to commit into this space when they had the banana bush warded, I really believe that they can just play to win the fight. Or just play to get better space. Like, the fact that PSG are the ones that have the space is a bit of a weakness. Very good Hecarim ultimate. And then the Conqueror is just too good. No, it's not about the Liandry's purchase. Like you say, LSS schooled them well. It's just about the timing of it. The timing of it is very, very nice. And I think that's something that a lot of teams struggle with. There's the mask finish. Swain goes for base, has TP, 30 seconds on. I just think it was a mistake to, for example, use a ward in this position when Alistar, you spotted him and Jhin is here. You can easily step into here and shove everyone out. So I think this was a bit of an issue. And then this lane ward is a lot less valuable when the enemy sees it. Like when you lane ward and the enemy sees it, it's not that good. Usually when the enemy has mid tower on, it's not that great to just straight up ward. I think if here Rakan still has 3 wards, it's pretty significant. I think they can walk up here and honestly squeeze PSG out all the way. Another thing in terms of preparation, we spoke about the items. Look at that top wave as well, man. Top wave, the bottom wave management is very good. Why is nobody from PSG buying anti-healing? That's a good question. It's a good question. It's not really convenient for any of these champions to buy it, but the executioners should definitely be on Jhin. Yeah, the moment enemy Renekton is starting to buy blades, you should get Bramble Vest. You can get Bramble Vest and you can get Sunfire Cape and you'll be a more useful champion than Renekton in most cases. This is a case where maybe not so, but... very smart pick, Swain, yeah, I liked it. I think... execution is a good item. And Echo just getting one-shot without ulting, very good. Nasi getting the Infernal, which is mad. Hanabi playing for his own dreams, but those dreams are gone. Santa's legit fucking charmed everybody, man. The fear, the charm of Volibear, and then coming right back in. Boom, and then the W on the Jhin. Jhin has all summoners on. The man was using Rakan to full extent. That's what coaches are for. I don't think Shippy is drafting. They have a different coach on stage. Was he on stage? I thought I'm just seeing this guy. What is this? Oh, Kadrill! Very cute emote, Kadrill. Thank you, Kadrill. All hail Cathedral. Oh, there he is. There he is. But it doesn't... Oh, Ender's raiding too. Jesus. That is wild, guys. My goodness, welcome, welcome. We're just in the middle of Unicorns of Love PSG review. Thank you so much. I'm getting raided, but you're raiding a Viking! I am a Viking! Ender, fetch me more wine! I don't know why I said that. I'm so tired, guys. I'm so tired. I'm unbelievably tired. Unbelievably tired. I think LGD can bounce back, but they can also keep mental booming. Like it's who knows? Did you make it on time for 6:30 AM? Yeah. Are you on desk tomorrow? I think I'm on desk every day, man. Wow, Kadrill has more subs than Ender, even though Ender had 1K viewers. Isn't that mad? Sheepy needs to be signed by LEC team. I have no offense to Sheepy, but we have no idea what he does for the team. Like, isn't he the owner of Unicorns of Love, pretty much? Sharks, do you know the situation? Your ears are pretty close to what's going on in the LCL. I don't know if you're still here, Sharks. So Sharks, do you know? Sheepy's dad, same Sheepy owns UOL. He's just head coach and his dad is owner. That's Chippy owner of UOL. Same. Same. Come on. But do you know how UOL function on the inside? Do you know that? I'm just curious. Like, do you know who's drafting and whatever? You remind me of my dad. Oh my goodness! Like, oh yeah, I just have to ban you, man. That made me fucking want to puke. What I just read. I just know how the League of Legends team works. Yeah. How does the League of Legends team works? I don't care about the business. I don't care about the business. Shibi is drafting. Envy is an analyst, assistant coach, prep guy. Okay. Shibi is drafting. All right. And then this fight just turns into Nash, right? UO, decisive on it. Players are doing a lot of prep as well. Okay. I think Shippy will never leave Unicorns of Love. I like the UL's execution on this too. Like this fight, it almost looks like there's some potential here, but obviously, like the set doesn't do that much damage, and they focus him down, and Anasac survives, and the smite lands. It's kind of just game over. Overall thoughts on Swain bot in situations like this? Shibi is drafting is the wrong statement. He has a final word, but it's 7-man work. Okay. Swain bot is very good into a lot of melee champions. That's like this is a good example of Swain being a good pick. Swain has an issue of being kited a lot, and if Swain is allowed to play Conqueror and still be useful, that makes him very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Because most of the time he needs phase rush and things like this, but this game he just doesn't need it because people are literally gonna be inside of him. Yamato's drafting Swain bot in Vitality, if I remember correctly. Yes, we did. But this Swain was very OP. You played Swain Alistar, and Alistar would W, and then you would pull, and then you would Q with Alistar, and the CC chain was crazy. Conqueror on range is trash. It's a very different case here, because Gadget can keep it stacked against a lot of melee champions. The thing about Swain, for example, our team, we did not want to play anything but Ezreal, Taric, Rakan into. Play a regular AD, you would need to build an entire comp to protect the AD. And Swain gives you team more flexibility where you don't need to build a draft around Swain. I just feel like Swain, in order for him to be useful, he needs to be playing against some melee champions so he can like mark them. Oh, into Hecarim, okay. The key thing here, I think after the first 3 picks, there's no saving this, Rickson. Like, the only hope... You don't need to... In cases where the enemy is getting outrange, in a lot of cases... the enemy has to be the ones engaging on you. Because you remember that, yeah, Nocturne, Lissandra, yeah. Well, that's the same thing, right? Lissandra and Nocturne, they commit into you. And that's the same case. Like Galio as well, people pick Swain into Galio. Like if Swain could survive the burst and just stick around and survive with his ultimate, it was very, very good. That was also a very different Swain though, because this Swain doesn't stack. So it's like if you played Nocturne Lissandra and you burned Swain ult, you had like a big window when a big window to punish. Yeah, them not having anti-heal is a bit of a tragedy. Like this is Or at least there's a death dance. To be fair, it's significant draft cap. Big draft cap. Hard to imagine PSG winning this. Like, how do they win a fight? They need to go all melee again. Whoa, I just got a condom ad. It's because we're watching Unicorns of Love. And they are sponsored by Billy Bob or whatever it's called. A condom company. Look how durable they are, man. It was kind of weird this game that the Volibear leashed. Like Volibear leashed, and I think if you leash with Volibear, it's very, very troll. Like if you let Renekton control the first wave, I think you lose a really, really big part of your power. Yeah, I think PSG's draft was... Yeah, I didn't understand why they path into bottom. I really didn't get it. But also, like the worst part is that Hanabi leashed and then he pathed into bottom. It was very confusing. Because UOL had full information and then Hanabi took bad trade and Hecarim first blood and Renekton kill is just too much. Way too much. Magebots already dominated EU Masters. Well, Rogue, like Mr. Sharks, figured that out easily. But I guess the key difference is that Yarnan is a bit of a AP one trick, while Gadget can still play ADs. Or maybe Yarnan can play some Jinx or some shit, but I don't think he is that proficient on them. I don't think Orianna bot was that fantastic. It was good in the sense that they lined themselves up for a... well, I said just pick Ezreal and outscale all game ages. Yeah. I believe that. I 100% believe that. Like, Orianna bot was only good because of how valuable Kassadin became. But it was a bit silly. It was a bit silly because I thought they would just send Galio support. But honestly, they should have just picked Morgana and then picked Set mid. I don't know why they didn't do that game. But instead they just picked Galio mid, and Unicorns of Love was so confident that Galio is gonna go mid. I assume Ace is some big Galio player or something. But the moment Galio was locked in, they're like, this is a Galio mid, play Orianna bot, I don't care, I pick Kassadin. And then it works good because Kassadin is side lane, Orianna wants to go mid anyway, and it's just a natural solution. And then Galio went mid, Kassadin is good into Galio, and then there's a Kazus jungle. Kassadin can really, really 1v9 that game. Okay, now Jin has executioners. The game is won, guys. Skrch. He played better Orianna than a lot of mid laners I've seen. Gadget in an interview said it was not planned. No one just called that Kassa is good here. Yeah. I thought it was kind of a Damwon move. I don't know if you've seen this, Damwon versus DRX. Damwon versus DRX. Not this one. Ugh, this is a shit website. The fucking game where this one. So... No, not this. Wow, this is really one-sided. This is the wrong game, I think. It was... Oh, it was against Genji. Genji. What is Genji? Damwon Genji, this one. So here, Damwon was like, we are gonna sacrifice our bot lane and we're just gonna pick Poppy bot. Enemy has Lee Sin, Kalista, Gragas, just pick Poppy bot. We're gonna sacrifice the matchup, not care. Okay. That'll probably same reaction as Gadget. Okay, bro. Here, Nuguri ran it down. He got solo killed. He got solo killed as Gnar into Renekton. He just straight up ran it down. And then here, same thing. Damwon were like, let's pick Sejuani and Karthus. So enemy has no champion to pick with Irelia. And then enemy was like, Jesus, my mind is exploding. Pick me, guy. There's no dark. I don't believe there's a dark mode on this site. How do I change to dark mode? And then they played Sejuani support. There is dark mode top left? Really? What? I need to log in, man. Wow, dark mode is so beautiful. Holy. Opinion on the Poppy pick? I think it's bold. I think it's bold, but at the same time, I think it shows that Damwon realize what they're going to play for, right? So they're sacrificing their bot lane, they're going to be losing bot lane regardless. We're going to play top side, and then Poppy against Lee, Gragas, Kalista is going to be very, 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 very good. Honestly, I really like the color scheme. Really, really nice color scheme. Not bold, I said bold. They got 2v2 dove that game, Ruler. Yeah, they did. They did. Like, definitely Ruler played better. Alright, and that's the third inhibit. Yeah, the rest of this game doesn't really matter. What do you think about Jose Ododo? Man's got crazy Nidalee builds, that's for sure. Just fucking... Like, he just fucking bought Lich Bane. Yeah, Gadget definitely not first time Orianna. But if you're smart, you can play Orianna, I think. Like, Orianna's design, when you play it, it makes sense, you know? And you can tie it into other champions. And that's it. Alright, did you finally get your Bose headphones? I did not. Guys on YouTube, thank you so much for watching till the end. Yeah. The guy is getting ready for Shadowlands, PvPing in the jungle all the way so far. Yeah, it's fucking Nidalee pick. I don't think they really understand Nidalee. They just pick it and yeah, farm, as you mentioned. That's a good assessment.